This podcast is rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Some material may not be suitable for children. Mission 250.
I'm just gonna.
It's like Pee Wee Herman and Bobcat Goldthwait had like a kid or something.
I mean, it was some funny shit. Him trying to hold his hand down. Yeah.
All right.
It really
Are
was.
we recording?
All right.
What do we got?
I have been recording. Yes.
I am also recording.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast. We are watching the 51st best movie of all time, guys.
Jesus, great.
Yeah.
It's the
Holy
last
shit, they came
movie.
out of nowhere.
The last movie of the last 50 we watched. It's been 2.5 years.
Fuck, were we supposed to? I didn't do any of that. The top.
Oh, no, that's for next episode.
Next episode.
Ooh,
This is the last
I was about
episode
to get more
beforehand.
stressed. Yeah, I was about to get more stressed. I already had a fucking day. Yeah.
This is the when the hell did this movie come out? 1964, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, written and directed by Stanley Kubrick. The synopsis is: an insane American general orders a bombing attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a path to nuclear holocaust that a war room full of politicians and generals frantically tries to stop. And this week, it's my turn to go first.
Go, Denny.
Woo!
So, this is the last Kubrick movie on the list.
That's what I was going to say. We got to do the same thing we did with Billy Wilder at some point and kind of review them. But we don't necessarily do that right now.
Right. Well, I just want to say that this is
Unless
the
you want
last of the list, which means it's the highest on the list.
Yes.
Which means most people think this is the best Stanley Kubrick movie.
Which I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was funny.
Sometimes this movie is so all over the place, and I don't know. It
was poignant.
I mean, it's number one. It's scary. I hate this topic.
Yeah.
It's scary as shit. It's not very funny because this topic scares the shit out of me. And where we are right now in the world is specifically kind of a scary time for that sort of thing.
Could it have matched any
definitely
more
scary.
to the current situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it
Spooky.
could. Bunch of dumbasses sitting in a room with a circle table and fucking not doing much.
Yeah. So that's scary. None of that's funny, right? So that's so scary to me that nothing involving that shit is funny. Until,
I thought it was funny when he took the call from the girlfriend mid-meeting. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
I thought that was great.
I thought the secretary is there. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's like, look, I can't talk to you right now.
And she's like,
That was just so weird.
Fun.
Some of this movie is just so freaking weird and silly. Like, there's a gag where one of the generals George C. Scott, eats gum. He's just eating a lot of gum. Is that supposed to be funny? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
But they certainly focus on it a whole bunch.
Right.
His character, the Mandrake character, I don't think is very funny. Like, is that whole section supposed to be funny? Where it's like the one general talking about fluoride and essence, and then it's just this other guy being like, I forget what his name is, but he just keeps saying his name over and over again.
Right. It wasn't funny, but it was weird.
Well, maybe it was funny in the
weird.
50s. Might have been funny in the 50s.
The thing is, I didn't laugh once,
Maybe.
but there were a couple parts where I was like, that's okay. Where he's like, I got the gamey leg, the string's gone out in my leg. And I was like, that's a weird way to say that. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
I'm scared still.
You didn't
I don't know
laugh
if I
once through
caught
the whole
that
movie, or
I didn't laugh once. No.
No way.
Not out loud once. I did find parts funny, but I've seen this movie a bunch of times before.
Not even
so
not even a snicker?
No.
Not even like a little...
Nothing.
I'm
audible.
sure if I hadn't seen it before, I think I would have laughed. I don't know, but
Maybe. The funniest part
yeah.
is that
Nothing
there's a little
audible.
compilation towards the end where Dr. Strangelove, they're not talking. He's just struggling with his arm, and his arm's trying to pull him away and stuff.
Right.
That
Yeah,
whole
it's pretty
scene
funny.
is good.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
that scene is 2 minutes of this. This movie's only an hour and a half, but it seems really
Right.
long because a
glad it
lot
was
of it
quick.
isn't funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of it doesn't look very good anymore. The point of it is really good. It's like
Yeah.
nuclear
The
bombs
story
are
I thought
scary.
was okay.
Yeah, the story's okay.
I was
There's a lot
surprised.
of-
The effect shots aren't that good.
Nope.
Like you'd think.
This is the one he did right before 2001. And that
I
movie
know,
looks
right?
amazing. And this
Wow,
movie looks like
that's
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It looks
plane
like
just like
shit.
it's on a string. With the
Maybe
movie
it
backdrop.
motivated him to do a better job.
Maybe.
Maybe
Or they just got a bad crew? Was it a bad
It's a
crew?
lot harder. It's a lot harder to do that.
Daddy, you don't have any
realistically
info
than
on
No,
this?
I
say-
Come
do.
on.
No, he does his own cinematography and stuff. He started off as a photographer. So you'd think that he would be able to, I don't know. They were using a lot of projection shots. You could tell on an airplane set. And it just did look good. I mean, they spent most of their budget hiring Peter Sellers, which was probably a huge factor in why a lot of it looks. I mean, there's only 3 sets of this movie. This movie is 3 sets. There's the war room, the airplane, and then that office room where the crazy general is. That's the entire movie is in those 3 rooms, which I don't know. I didn't like that either because it just seems like a really claustrophobic movie for a movie that's supposed to be involving the entire world, sort of.
The war room looked cool though. It was a cool set. iconic set, I think.
I mean, it looked like the NATO room. That's all I kept thinking.
Yeah. I don't know what the NATO war room looks like. Does it look exactly
No,
like
it just
that?
looks like the NATO regular room. The big circle table with a bunch of dipshits talking around it. Right? I mean, that's NATO.
NATO.
That's sure. I'm looking it up now.
If I don't come back to the next podcast, we'll know why.
You're fine.
It's a circle. Look at that. So TC's right. It is a circle. It is similar in that way, at the very least.
Yeah. It's a big room with a circle table.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Unity.
that nice big old circle light. That art.
I thought it was kind of funny when they were all like huddled up, looking at the guy on the phone. I thought that was funny. Yeah. It's so stupid. Like, are they really that entrenched? Like, they're that involved in his conversation? They have to they had a moment where he was on the phone. I forget if it was which character it was, but literally the entire table was behind him, staring at him on the phone.
Was he when he's like, Dimitri,
yeah,
we talked about
and then he
this,
goes
Dimitri.
into a conversation about nothing for a few minutes. I thought that was kind of funny. I laughed at that.
I'm glad you liked it.
Because it was nothing like it was like this movie's irrelevant at the moment. We're just talking about some stupid thing. It was almost slapstick in a way. So, but yeah, I could have done without it.
Yeah, it's just so weird because I mean, it's Kubrick, and he's I don't know, just compared to this is higher rated than 2001 or Clockwork Orange or The Shining. Or any of those movies. I'm glad we spent however many episodes we did, 3 parts on The Shining, doing most of the history on Kubrick, because I'd rather have it there than here. You know?
Didn't you think we were going to split this up into two podcasts too?
I was a little surprised. I didn't know. I was worried. I was coming into this thinking, I thought you might really love this. And I was going to be like, oh no, I just don't, I didn't get it. I wasn't as into it. And we certainly have had a lot of, we've always been really interested in his films and had a lot to say about them. And this one is it's
him trying to do comedy for the one and only time, right?
Maybe that's just not his thing. Maybe that's why it sucks.
But people love it. People love this the most. This is Gene Siskel's favorite movie of all time. And that's part of it.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah. And it's still relevant. It's super old, 64. For a movie in the 60s, it's still very 60s. Topical and relevant.
It's topical, it's relevant, but the people are such caricatures that it seems so silly. As scary as the topic is.
That's part of the point, though, John.
But that was the point, because it was wartime.
I know, but it's just, I don't know.
I don't like it either. Reason, I know what you're trying to say. But
what am I trying to say?
You're trying to say
that a contender, Charlie. That's what he's trying to say.
This movie is the #1 nuclear movie, right? It's a movie that talks about the bomb the most and is still relevant.
Yep.
And it doesn't take it seriously, and it's scary, but it's not scary enough.
It's making light in a time when people were scared shitless about war.
I know. And it's also it's something, when I read the chunk of the Red Alert book that this was based on.
Nice.
And what it doesn't also do is it's not respectful at all to anybody that's involved in this. The fear, the terror that they feel, like the bomber crew and everything, and
because there is no fear, it's all heroic, right? They're all super simple characters throughout the movie,
right? And there's satire, and that's one thing, but just simplifying all these characters so much that it just doesn't have any weight to it. Then it just all feels so artificial. Again, Slim Pickens did fine in his role, but his role was such a caricature that it just seems it has no depth or weight or anything to it. It's just like a joke. So it's just odd. It's very, very
and it's
strange.
Not very funny. There's no punchlines to any of that airplane stuff. There's no jokes in there.
Is it funny that he says Ruskies? Is that funny? No, I didn't think so, right? So I don't know.
I didn't think it was funny that he waved his cowboy hat when he was riding the bomb down. I thought that was fucking psychotic is what I thought
that was kind of funny. I don't know. I was laughing. I was like, this motherfucker's crazy.
It might have been, though. I know we're scared of this topic for sure now, but back then the hysteria was such that the fear was so much greater that this movie at that time might have really had an impact.
Just lightened the mood a little, maybe.
Kinda, yeah.
We're all gonna die. Isn't that hilarious?
Is there any other way to approach it?
Yeah, be afraid of it.
No, because then you'll always be anxious and worried. Yeah, and then the whiskey comes, and then I just take a long walk and cry, and and then after that I gotta sit down and I think about all the things I might get hurt by, and after that I use the sanitation because I might die from the germs, and and so
dead on, spot on, TC.
Yeah, that's right. That's Denny in a nutshell.
That's right.
Yeah.
What are you trying to make fun of me? What is this? These are a list of facts right here.
This isn't working at all. This is failing miserably. Oh shit!
See,
man.
you can't even have jokes. Can't even make fun of people anymore because they're talking about the bomb. They can't even dish on each other anymore.
The bomb and the Rooskies.
The bomb ruins everything. You know.
Agreed.
It's tough times. Tough times.
Yeah, and I don't see as much craft in the way it looks. Like even looking back at like The Killing or Lolita and things like that, it's a lot more interesting to look at a lot of the time. This one you can't even see visually that it's Kubrick. I can at least.
Nope.
Honestly, guys, I'm going to be quite upfront with you. I didn't even know it was.
Oh, really?
Because I wasn't paying attention.
There you go. That's how
I wasn't paying attention to this at all. And then I watched it and was just like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
I like the titles. I like the way the titles are all drawn on in the beginning.
I like that too.
Mid-flight, that's maybe one of my favorite parts of the movie. The mid-flight refueling.
First 5 minutes, favorite part of the movie, of course.
Yeah, as usual.
Yeah.
For the
sex scene?
most awake.
The plane sex scene?
Oh, is that? Do you think that's what that was? Really digging deep.
Oh, no,
on
it's
that
in the
one.
X-ray. Look at it in the X-ray when you watch Prime Video. They have they had a whole thing. So the reason why they kept it is because it's very erotic.
I was not aroused a bit, but
that's just some creep that writes those things making it up. There's no way that's true. It's just plain footage.
I doubt it. They got the info from somewhere it wouldn't publish. Trust me.
Again, the book starts off with, in the book, it's the same scene that's starting off, that the planes are refueling and describing that process a little bit. So it seems like that it was a natural place to start, where that's what the bombers are doing before they're heading to their position X.
I mean, it was all kind of like that. I think he approached it all as a joke, though, right? So the reason why they liked it is because it reminded them of sex. That kind of thing.
I guess. Yeah.
Sex.
Some really good performances. I mean, George C. Scott was pretty. I liked watching him chew it up. And same thing with Peter Sellers. Both of them were just going nuts, and that was kind of fun. So that was definitely entertaining to watch those two. I wish they had interacted more. I didn't want the Russian ambassador and George C. Scott fighting it out. I wanted him and Strangelove to go at it. That would have been a lot more fun. But so
I didn't quite understand the whole point of Strangelove.
He's just a
German
scientist brought over from Nazi Germany. There's really, the point of it is that's Peter Sellers. He's awesome, and he's going to steal the movie.
Is that all it was?
I think pretty much that was the point of it, because it's not like we even know what his background is or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it had much point in the actual story. He just like showed up.
He's the one who gave the entire plot merit. He's like, because that question was like, is the doomsday thing real? And he's like, it could be real. And then they're all scared, right? If it was him saying like, no, it can't be real, then they would have not worried or whatever.
Then the gum chewing wouldn't have commenced.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Peter Sellers, I don't know. The president, though, the first shot at the first 2 weeks, he had like a nasal congestion thing where like he was blowing his nose the whole time, and it was funny, but like then Kubrick was like, well, we need a straight man for this position. I don't know why. So he made him play it straight the rest of the time. So, and I didn't like that too much. Like the president stuff wasn't too good.
No, it wasn't.
There's a lot of repeating name stuff that was supposed to be funny in this movie, which was kind of annoying.
I didn't know.
Dimitri, we talked about this, Dimitri.
Oh, is that real? I just thought that was like a 60s, 50s thing.
I don't know. I've never noticed it.
It went right over my head.
Yeah.
It went right over my head.
And I don't know. I sound annoyed. I think I am annoyed at this movie.
You are.
Yeah.
You even got the red face.
I don't like the topic, and I don't like the way it respects
you don't like the
it.
topic. I'm just kind of bummed that this is our last Kubrick film.
Same.
For this list.
Is it really?
I was looking forward to it. I was like, we've had so much fun, like talking about and marveling at all of these other films that we've seen of his. So it's kind of a bummer to end on this one, I think, in that sense. So that's kind of
that's a part of it too, for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't horrible either.
No, for a 1960s movie.
Certainly, the topic, as you say, the topic's really amazing, but the it will be iconic just for Peter Sellers' role, if nothing else. I mean, just that last line is still pretty cool. Last line. I wonder if that was improvised. You probably can tell us, but I just wonder. All of it was.
All of it was. Yeah.
So that being like the last line was kind of cool. Yeah. I thought. Yeah.
And they had a different ending too. There was supposed to be like so there's the long square or rectangular table in the war room that's covered in food, and the last scene they shot, and they were going to end with it, was there was a pie fight between the president and the Russian ambassador guy.
Oh.
And they had filmed it, and you can apparently see it. Like they showed it a few times, like over the decades, just to people going to special showings or whatever. But they cut it out because, again, Kubrick was just like, well, it's too silly. It's like basically all there was. Too silly.
That's where
really?
That's where he drew the line.
It's a comedy, man. Like, what kind of balance are you going for in this one? I didn't feel it. I felt no flow in this movie between like serious shit and comedy. You know, maybe I'm comparing it to like, who does this? Tarantino? Comedy back to back with like brutal violence and like serious drama, and it works.
That's
I don't think
definitely
it works
Tarantino
in this movie. It's like it's way too abrupt. Yeah, bringing it down.
I don't think I noticed any of it really. I just kind of watched it aimlessly like a zombie.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Is that the usual?
That's probably.
And fun also to see a young James Earl Jones.
I know. I caught that. I caught that by hearing him. I heard him first, and I was like, "What the fuck? I know that voice." And then I looked up the X-ray, and I was like, "No shit, it's first movie, fucking A."
All right, first movie.
You never seen it before, TC?
Yeah, it was his debut.
Oh,
no,
nice.
Ah, nice. So what did you think, TC?
I thought it was, for a movie that I thought I was gonna hate. I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of stupid, but it was funny enough to like. I mean, I laughed. I didn't do you. I laughed. I laughed a couple times.
Nice.
I definitely laughed when he was fucking riding the damn thing down to the ground. Fucking lunatic. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really critique it much. I just kind of sat there and, like I said, mindlessly watched it. But I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say like, oh, you shouldn't watch that one. It's a fucking bullshit movie. But I wouldn't say, oh man, you got to see this. So I don't know. I'm kind of middle of the road. I didn't think one way or the other really. The chewing the gum. I thought the Strangelove bit was funny, but it was just me like sitting here trying to do the voice. You know what I mean? No, not the cigar. I was just doing that while I was watching.
He's such a great character actor. The way he holds his face and it just showing his teeth. Not unlike the way the woman showed her teeth in the Sunset Boulevard. Just that whole expression that he had was just in his clipped voice was pretty funny.
Yes,
I think it was. I think it was good for the time. I mean, I know that Denny, you don't like it, but I mean, let's be honest. This fucking world is going to hell in a handbasket real quick at this point. So I thought it was good for the time because it actually linked to something now, which maybe is why I didn't hate it. Because it was like they made the joke about the Russians. I was like, ha! We're still making that joke.
How far we've progressed as a world.
Yeah, right. We've really gone a long way since the 60s, huh? And by the way, we're removing the abortion thing. So it's like we're going backwards. So we might as well use the same jokes too, right? So I figured, fuck it. It wasn't awful. I don't think I'd put anybody else through it if they're not already seen it before. So that's about all I got for this. I don't really have.
Yeah, there's not.
Like you said, I didn't notice anything that was amazing with the film. I didn't know anything that was. I didn't recognize anything that was good for sound. I didn't. The effects, like you said, there was obviously projectors there, but it was the 60s. I don't know what he was going for. I really couldn't tell you. So
I can't either. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. That's about all I got.
Nice, John. You got anything else?
Yep. I don't think I'm trying to think more. Again, no. I think of this film. I think of Sellers and Scott's performances, and that's about it. Honestly, I don't. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Look
so
at
wrapping
that.
it up. What are we doing next
Thanks,
week?
Kubrick movie.
Doing top 10, bottom what? Top 5, bottom
Yeah,
5.
we are.
I'm sure you got some trivia, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
But I actually shut off. There's a Cold War picture-in-picture track on the DVD. It's not good. I shut it off. It's a bunch of facts that are irrelevant to the movie. It just talked about like World War II and like nuke testing and just all this other shit that is not relevant to the movie. Yeah, they interviewed a lot of famous people. A lot of the famous people said that they didn't think it was funny at all. They thought it was mostly scary. Ebert and Spike Lee were two of those people. They just didn't find it funny at all, but they liked it. So maybe that's like, I don't know. It's effective. I can't think of another movie that's better than this that deals with the bomb. I can't. Like, what else is there? There's not too many. The Peacemaker.
There's not much out there that deals with it.
Yeah. It's like the Sum of All Fears, Peacemaker.
No, the Sum of All Fears is more about the action and stuff. It's not really about showing you. I don't know. What was Fat Man and Little Boy? Was the Paul Newman was in that that was about the making of the bombs.
Oh, I didn't see
the first two atomic bombs.
Didn't see that either.
Good.
I didn't see it either. So
oh wow! So I'm glad you brought it up.
Probably
That's
not
great.
very good.
Yeah, probably sucked. Probably sucked a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of weird how you can take it one way or the other. TC didn't find it scary. Thought it was funny.
No,
other people just think it's
didn't find it
scary.
scary.
Some people like it that it's scary. Some people don't like it that it's scary.
So it just, is that good? I don't know if that's good.
I don't know.
Like if 10 people watch the movie and they all have different perspectives of it, is that good?
Could be excellent. Could be the best movie ever.
Could be the reason why it's good.
Yeah. Definitely takes I don't know. Yeah. Whatever you're feeling on the topic is. It was Kubrick's idea to turn it into a comedy. He was working with his long-term production partner on a script for this, and he read that Red Alert, is that what it's called, book?
Yep.
He also read around 50 other books on the bomb to research this and come up with ideas. And the producer dropped off after Kubrick was like, I'm making it into a comedy, because he didn't like that idea.
He's like, go fuck yourself. This is the atomic bomb. You're fucked.
Right. Yeah. It's not funny, Stanley.
Right.
It's not funny.
But Kubrick was like, it would be not good to take on this subject without like some humor in it. It would be, yeah.
It's just too horrifying. No one would go see it. I don't
Probably
know. But there was a lot of
mean,
media that was running, a lot of movies and films and things about the bomb and nuclear, Holocaust, this or that. And so I don't know. I don't know if it would have been unpopular, but yeah.
The working title was Edge of Doom. And then also they had the secondary working title, The Delicate Balance of Terror. Both kind of good. You don't like those? I like those.
I know, but they just sound so serious. I mean, it's if you're going to do a comedy, but even to call it Dr. Strangelove is a strange thing to title the film after a character who had a relatively small role. Just did a little explaining. It wasn't like any of this was Strangelove's ideas, or he was a character in, he was part of the major plot or anything.
No, he really wasn't.
Very strange that they very odd to name it that.
Well, it's the people like him that are the ones who created the bomb, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you criticize Beetlejuice in the same way, John?
Well, no, because Beetlejuice is by far the main character in the film.
No, he's not.
I mean,
Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis are.
Yeah, but they bring him in and he's like the star of the show when he's there. I guess
he's only on the screen for like 15 minutes in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I guess.
Is he really?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen that.
He's far more central to the
plot.
plot.
Talking about Keaton, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Really?
You haven't seen
the whole
Beetlejuice?
movie? I don't know.
No, it's Alec Baldwin is like the main character in that movie.
Yeah. That's true.
And Gina Davis.
A young, slim Alec Baldwin.
But how come like all the product was just like based on the guy?
Because he got like he had a bunch of makeup on, and they got like Oscars for the makeup, and he got acting awards for his performance as Beetlejuice.
He was really good in it. He was in it a fair amount. I mean, he wasn't like very. You
haven't seen that movie recently.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
Well, I guess. I don't know. Did you really?
Yeah.
Put it on the backyard.
Movie. That's no. Actually, that'd be a good one to put it back there. We should do that one. That's one of the ones that should be on the friggin' list.
Oh, man, I don't know.
You're crazy, John. It's the best Tim Burton movie there is, easily.
Well, that may be.
But that doesn't mean I want to watch it.
Huh? Not a fan of the new Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp in there?
This is I grew out of my very brief, 13-year-old emo period.
When's the last time you watched it? I feel like you're going to eat your words if I make you rewatch it.
2 nights ago, actually. Alex and I watched about half of it.
Beetlejuice?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. It's a coincidence.
All right.
It's remarkable to see Alec Baldwin that young and like all slim.
Yeah.
So he looks remarkably different. Well, I mean, you can still tell it's him, but it's very, very different.
You got to pop on The Shadow afterwards. Just go on a Slim Baldwin binge there.
That's nice. Yeah. But
Slim Baldwin only.
Alex, was starting to go to sleep, so we knocked it off. But he didn't mind. He thought it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I
love that film. When I was younger, I really loved it. It was a great sort of like dark comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like it was on TV.
Not even dark comedy, because it was just comedy with some gross out elements. That's about it.
I got 2 more pieces of trivia, and that's it.
Good.
Right, what do you got?
We'll wrap this up.
The B-52 bomber they built as a set. There's only one public picture of that airplane at the time. It was like a very top secret airplane. Hey. I feel like TC doesn't need to hear this. It's fine.
I guess not. That's fine. He doesn't think so either.
Yeah. So they took the picture, and the government wanted nothing to do with the production. So they took the picture and kind of guessed the rest of it, and built it around the single picture.
That's just funny, because we know what B-52s look like in all kinds of ways now, it seems. But yeah.
Apparently they did a pretty good job with their estimations. So that was it. I actually said the last one. So that's all the trivia I got.
Oh, good. I don't need to hear it. Fuck it. Let's move on.
The special features in general were not good for this one. They were much better for a lot of the other ones.
I am surprised by that. Yeah, me too.
I thought we were going to be here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I do have some book corner
I'm
stuff,
let down.
Just a little
So
bit.
am I. So let down.
All right, well, let's go to book corner then.
Yeah, book corner. Let's see what you got.
Is it red alert stuff or what is this from?
Yeah, so I read the book. Oh no, I read parts of the book because I didn't
skipped.
It's busy. Yeah, I just read like maybe the first 20%.
We don't expect much more than that, buddy. Don't worry.
I know it's fine.
It's a
was
lot
there
of
any
work.
skipping around? How much skipping around was there?
That's a lot of extra work.
Peter Bryant is who wrote this. He's a former RAF pilot, the Royal Air Force. So he was involved in the campaign for nuclear disarmament. He was really serious when he wrote the book. It was originally called 2 Hours to Doom. And he didn't agree with the satirical tone that Kubrick had adopted. But he collaborated on the screenplay still and later wrote a novelization of the film, and he dedicated it to Kubrick. So I guess maybe he came around to it a little bit. He continued to write about the doomed outcome of the world with nuclear arms, and he committed suicide in 1966.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the foreword is, I can read this. This is the story of a battle fought in the skies over the Arctic and over Russia and on American Strategic Air Command base and in the minds of men. Its duration was only 2 hours. It's a chaotic story because battles are chaotic. It's a pitiless, cruel story because pitilessness is a difficult word to say.
Pitilessness.
Yeah. Well, what?
And cruelty are inherent qualities of battle, especially a battle fought with the modern nuclear weapons. But most important of all, it's a story which could happen. It may even be happening as you read these words, and then it really will be 2 hours to doom. Yours, mine, and every other living creature's.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of scare right there. That's what I want in this movie.
Like that's the opening.
That's the kind of terror that I look forward to in any type of movie about the bomb. I don't want any of this wheeling around zombie hand bullshit.
And it is such a contrast because when the book opens up, it's talking about the crew and the bomber. The story also focuses on, or the movie does, but it's talking about how smart they are, how level-headed they are, how scared they are, that there's even the possibility that they would end up causing the deaths of millions and millions of people. And it really respects them a great deal. And same thing with like all of the generals and so forth, except there is the crazy one, but he's not even crazy necessarily. In the book, it talks about this is a very strategic decision by this general who's also dying of I didn't get to figure out what it was, cancer or something, but he's dying. And his assessment is that Russia is basically they're set up to make the first attack. Basically, all of their plans at the time were around making the first attack and disabling America's capability of responding. And Russia at the time had just gotten it was getting their ICBMs working, so the intercontinental ballistic missiles. America was behind. So in this case, the general was saying, this is our time. We have to do this now. We have to strike them now. They are not built for this. They're not built to withstand a first strike because the West's position has always been that we won't ever be the ones to make the first strike. So the general had reasoned all this out and said, this is the time to do it. This is what we need to do now, or we're going to be wiped out. And that was just his line of reasoning. It wasn't that he was crazy. There was no precious bodily fluids or anything like that. It really was more this very strict reasoning and this other thought that politicians and other statesmen above him would never make this decision, and somebody had to make it. And if he didn't make it, then the Russians would attack us sooner or later once they had their ICBMs functional. So that was just this basic, step-by-step reasoning behind the generals, what the general was thinking. And that's terrifying, but it was, even that was presented
that's logical, though.
Right.
Really.
Even then, too, like when they're in the war room and they're talking, they're all saying, we can't recall the planes. This is our chance, because there's all these factors that align that made this like an optimal attack plan. And the general had figured this all out, the one that had called the attack. And so it all was done pretty reasonably. And the respect that's given to each of the players here, I think, is really impressive. And it contrasts so much with the film that it makes the film look really weird to me. It's so it's not fair. It's satire, so it's not fair to say disrespectful, I don't think. But it's still, I want to say that to these people that pilot the planes, the people that make these decisions, the people that have to deal with some of this stress. They're in the Air Force. They didn't ask to be the ones that are tasked with this, and they're enormously stressed by it. And the book talks about how for Strategic Air Command, they really are careful about how long they let pilots fly these, or the crews be on these missions, because of the toll it takes on them. Even though, again, they don't think they're going to be attacking anybody. That the potential, the knowledge that they're flying these long missions, that they go to this point X, and then they have to wait for they have to get this recall command or to come back, or if they don't get a command, I think they have to get some kind of command before they then turn back. But it's always the procedure that they turn back. So I think that the book just has such more of a serious tone that I think that it would have made the film terrifying, but even more impactful. I think because to take it seriously and not say these aren't crazy people. To go after this attack and say even this general is not necessarily crazy.
Right, like he wasn't, like it seemed like in the movie that he was fucking losing his mind.
He's just nuts. Precious bodily fluids.
Nuts.
He's just not making any sense.
Right.
Or the people flying the planes, they're just crazy, silly weirdos.
Yeah, they're just like hicks, like having fun up in the air, right?
Right.
Yeah,
and that just seems, I don't know.
It doesn't seem to do it justice, does it?
Yeah, right? Because that's not the reality of it. And it's still insane. It's still fucking insane.
And I mean, realistically, though, I do see where he's coming from as far as making it a comedy.
Right.
Because, like, they might have been writing it out and being like, dude, this is too much.
Maybe so,
I mean, like, think about what we've been working on. And, like, imagine getting to a point where you're like, this is fucking terrifying me. I don't want to watch this, And like, I mean, I just wonder where they were, like, how, because you're right. Like, now that you've mentioned the book, it almost seems like it's not even, if that's a place where they took from, it doesn't even seem remotely like it's, like they landed in the place that not inspired some of it.
The plot they really borrowed a lot.
Sure, but like the tone and the drama
and the tones, it's all flipped on its head. It's all messed up, but the actual plot is basically the same. And there's
is there a doomsday device in the book?
I didn't get that far, so I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's any need for a doomsday device.
It's just as soon as one person launches, everyone else launches, and we all die.
There's no need for a doomsday device. Basically, it's like they're all reasoned out. So I don't think there's any. Yeah, that sort of was, and it was sort of confusing. It's more like I don't know why they needed that even in the movie, because the idea is like, here's the planes, we can't recall them. Then the decision is, what do? Do you just then go forward with the full attack or not? And I don't know where the book goes. I'm sure you won't read this, Denny, but it is really well written, and it goes into a lot of. It's kind of a Tom Clancy-ish kind of. It goes into a lot of details about here's their procedures. Here's what they need to do. A lot of ideas about command and what you need to do to lead men. Like there's this really great sequence in the book where they fail to get they get the go-ahead command. And one of the other flight officers questions the pilot's order, and the pilot just shoots him down, like really snaps at him. But the thing is the officer who questioned the pilot understood what he was doing, and then he backs off immediately because he understands that this is the time when everybody needs to act together and not question anything. And it just sort of goes into how that works with a group of people, and how chain of command works, and how you want to make sure that people aren't hesitating to follow orders. And it goes into their mindsets really respectfully, and tries to describe what those sort of situations are like. So if you're interested in the military stuff, I think this is a really good book. I don't know if I'm going to read it much more either because it's terrifying. And again, I don't know where it ends up going. I haven't gone through the plot though. I basically where the crazy general has locked down his base. He's giving them the rules, shoot on sight, exactly as they're given in the movie. They lay out all the same sorts of things, except in a lot more detail about how the different ways. And again, the book goes into a great deal of detail about the different attack plans at the time, like how Russia was going to use submarines and bombers and all these various things, and what their strategy was as a first offensive, what they were going to do. And again, it's the general going through all this in his mind and how this is all laid out, and that they need to strike first because all of Russia was geared for this first offensive strike. So if they strike first, Russia would be pretty defenseless. But anyway, so I do really think the book was good. What I read of it, and if you are interested in this stuff, it's really nice. It's really not hard to read either. It still feels, the language doesn't feel very old or anything like that.
Yeah. A nice breezy it sounds read. Like a very interesting. It's weird that it's so different than I don't know if I'd like to read it now, based on the fact that I just watched the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know how sometimes the movies go hand in hand with the book? Like, if you know the book, then you're going to like the film. Like, if you knew the book and you watch this, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, now I'm going negative.
Yeah, join me.
The book corner just brought me down. Not in a bad way, but in a what the fuck kind of way, right? Like, sounds like that book was good. The movie was like a joke on the book. It's like, what the fuck?
And I was talking to somebody this weekend, about how this would be in their top 10 or 20 favorite movies.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just like critics being like, this movie is the shit. People, if it hits them right, they love it.
If it hits you right, it hits you right. Yeah, I guess.
Like you were saying earlier, I mean, I definitely could see too, though, if you were there when this comes out with the way things were at the time. I mean,
the guy I was talking to is younger than me. He's 4 years younger than me. So
I don't know. Then he's just a poser. I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean,
what does he know?
But some people it really hits them. I don't know why, because like we don't see the technical artistry that we see in Kubrick's films in this film. The meticulous.
Maybe the way we're doing this list makes it so this movie isn't as impressive, because when I go into Kubrick, I'm just like, it's going to be meticulous, right?
Right. Timeless. It's going to be.
It's going to look good. It's going to be like you could hang a frame on the wall of any of the shots in the movie. This is, as far as I know, the only movie that he did improv on. Like everything Peter Sellers did was improv. The way the editing was done was to like edit around people in the background laughing at Peter Sellers. So like it wasn't intentional editing. It was like edited for the jokes and to keep the good takes. So it wasn't like edited the same way as the other stuff.
It just wasn't approached the same that he usually, the same way.
Right. It was totally different than the other movies he's done. Which is usually meticulously planned out, 20 to 60 shots per shot.
Oh, did he not do multiple takes this time? Or that many takes?
He let the camera roll for Peter Sellers.
Well, if it's improv, right, you figure...
Yeah, they had lots of footage of Peter Sellers doing his thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't like need to do it again and again and again because you'd be doing it different every time.
With his stuff then.
There wasn't any. Oh man, that I would have watched that. That would have been good special features, but nothing.
Like a commentary of just outtakes.
I would love to just watched all the continuous footage of him with everybody laughing too. I think that would have been neat.
That would have been good. Yeah, but you can kind of tell apparently in a lot of the shots that people are laughing in the background.
Yeah.
They edit it so you don't really notice it. So it's functional in that way, but yeah, I think it kind of hurts what I was expecting at least,
Yeah.
But if you're able to watch shit and not have that, baggage in your head, which we do,
I'm going luggage.
Doing this lists.
If you're just toting around luggage,
it's
brain luggage. Brain luggage.
But even because I don't know, we didn't watch Spartacus or Lolita. We watched. So let's go through his films. I've got a good list here, IMDb, just in order. Because Kubrick
really quick? Can I do the list that we've watched? So this will be fun.
Yeah. So we've watched.
We've watched 7 of them. This is the first director. There's only 3 directors that have 7 movies in this list. That's the most movies any director has.
Yeah, and Kubrick, in terms of hit ratio of the films that he made too, I bet he's got to be number 1. I mean, like Billy Wilder made 70 plus films or whatever. Kubrick made 13.
Yeah.
So he's got 7 of his 13 films that are highly regarded. Maybe Spielberg has something similar. I don't know. Not lately.
No, he's been putting out trash for 20 years now.
Right? So maybe not. Right? But there was a while.
You better hope you never run into him.
I would shit on Tintin, but I think I would piss TC off over there.
Oh, I love Tintin. Don't
you like
Tintin
Spielberg's Tintin?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather read
Huge
the books.
fan, not a fan comics. Of that. Yeah. But this is going to be fun because every movie that we've watched from Kubrick, except for Barry Lyndon, which none of us put on our top 5, is in this block of 50. So we'll get to it'll kind of be an indication of our ranking of our favorite Kubrick movies, just because it's all in this block of top 5, bottom 3 that we're going to do next week. So Barry Lyndon was in the 200s. It was like 230 something. It was a long fucking time ago.
Right.
And then in this 50, we had, in reverse order, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Full Metal Jacket, A Clockwork Orange, The Shining, Paths of Glory, and then Dr. Strangelove.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So, but John, go ahead with the rest of them.
Well, that covers it. I mean, his first 3, he had Fear and Desire in 53, A Killer's Kiss in 55, The Killing in 56. So we didn't watch any of his first 3 films. And then Paths of Glory in 57, then Spartacus in 60, which I kind of like to see Spartacus now. Lolita in 62, which I really don't want to see. And then Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, and then finally Eyes Wide Shut.
Fucking Barry Lyndon, dude. I can't remember. That might as well have been a different lifetime at this point.
Well, he was dying. I don't think it killed him. You think it killed him?
Oh, it killed him, yeah.
Know.
He was healthy,
really?
and then 2 weeks after they finished editing, he died.
Ah.
Do you think he just
I think it's
had enough?
Scientology killed him.
He wasn't a Scientologist. You think he was hanging around Cruise too much?
No, they took him out. It was a hit job.
Oh, shit. He's like, you ruined my marriage with Nicole Kidman. I'm going to kill you,
right.
Kubrick.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. You're damn right they're shut.
Have you seen that one, TZ?
Yeah.
What did you think about
It's
that
a weird
one?
one. It's a very strange one.
It's
very
weird.
strange. Very strange. just a fucked up person in Hollywood is that's what I run away with on that one. I'm like, that's just a weirdo. I don't need to know any more about that movie or watch it again. Very strange one.
Okay. Kubrick.
Well, this was a great one, guys.
Yeah. So what are we doing next week? Oh, top 250.
All right.
Yeah.
I got to actually think.
Would you put it in the top 250?
No.
Yeah, it's a no for me too.
I would.
Good for you.
I would, just because it's like iconic and shit.
Just because it's two no's, you got to do at least one guess.
That's all fair.
But I
people
didn't
like
enjoy
it.
But it's super old, and TC didn't hate it. He laughed at an old movie.
I did laugh at some old shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Kubrick. Come on.
Yep.
I'm laughing more at TC than I did at Sally. That's pretty good there, TC.
Yeah, it's the usual. Isn't that everybody?
That's kind of true.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Next week, guys, we got a long episode ahead of us. Extra long this time, because we're not only doing top 5, bottom 3 of all the list movies we did over the past, 2.5 years? 2.5 years.
Yep.
Jesus.
Because we've been doing bonus episodes. The first movie on the list that we're going to be watching is The Apartment. That's number 100. Remember that? That was like 2.5 years ago we watched that movie.
Yeah.
I did not remember that.
This might be a better judgment of that. I made a list of all the bonus episodes. We should also do a top 3, bottom 2 separate list of all the bonus episodes we've done so far.
That sounds good.
There have been 46 bonus episodes. So 50 movies, 46 bonus episodes.
Wow. So we should, we should get 4 more and do the usual 50 list. Like
you want to? We could do Spartacus.
Yeah, why not? Might as well make it the same process. Yeah.
You do Spartacus, Lolita, Killer's Kiss, and...
not Lolita.
No?
Lolita.
No, we're hard no on that one. All right.
Lolita.
So maybe. Should we do that?
I mean, that's not a worst idea. I don't know.
4 bonuses? Or what else are we going to do?
What else are we going to do? Let's do our 50. Let's do our 50. I was geared up for that.
Okay.
I think it'd be good to do that one. And then we'll figure out what we want to do after that.
So the second movie we watched on the bonus list was Parasite. How long ago was that?
Jesus,
really
it feels
long
like
ago.
yesterday, wasn't it?
That's right.
It was before the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
It's weird, huh?
And it'll be the next one will be like, well, that was before the war. And on after that, it'll be like, well,
Right
that was before the half the earth just fell off itself and split into space. Yeah.
That was before Thanos snapped his fingers and half your friends and family just disappeared.
I'd see Denny, but he's actually in the other half of the universe now because that's how fucked up everything
It was rough
got.
going before they figured out Skype between universes. But once they figured out Skype between universes, you could see your friends again. It was good.
Good old fucking AWS built a whole long steel cable all the way from universe to universe.
Threw it right into the wormhole there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
nice
it's a whole
tough
new
cable.
region.
Yeah,
Hardwired. It's the Mars region.
Hardwired internet through the wormhole.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ.
So let's do that. So TC,
you
got to put together your top 5 movies
top 5
and your bottom 3 movies from 100 to 51 on the list. And then also I sent you both an email of the 46.
Wait. Bottom 3. What was it? Top 5, bottom 3, and the how many? Which one?
It's all in the email too. I think.
Okay, not this one. This is just the top.
What do you send us like the requirements here?
Meeting notes,
and just send it to also like give us Sean's email, right? Because he's going to be our arbitrator here, right?
Yeah,
that's Denny's brother Sean. So he tabulates all our stuff, so that we'll do the same process that we did last time, right?
So we don't repeat ourselves if we all pick the same movies.
Yeah. Which I've forgotten entirely how that worked, but it worked well last time.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, we'll do that
Depending on the movie picks, it might work well again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
make sure to read the email.
So we're gonna do the regular top 5, bottom 3 of the list movies, and then I think top 3, bottom 2 of the bonus movies. Yeah.
Okay.
And then bonus, bonus categories, fun times, all that shit. That'll be good.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
All right, guys. Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
It was.
Single part Kubrick movie. Sad.
Nice.
Fuck it.
That is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Sayonara.
All right.
Never to be seen again.
That's right.
All right.
All right,
guys.
Bye.
Take care.